Okay, so I've been waiting a long time to come up with a plan for this one, and the question was whether I refinish it and restore it or paint it. It does have a lot of charm, even though people really aren't into antique furniture like they used to be. It's missing a bunch of veneer there. It has some chunking out right there. Not too bad. That's probably a Timbermate fix. There's a little bit of scuffing on the edge. It looks like a chip on that side. I think there's decent clearance if I wanted to paint it. Question is, would I need to strip some of this back? And so the idea was to kind of get it started with maybe some cleanup, scrub it down, get it ready for possible priming. There is a lot of roughness or scratches on the edge here. There's some watermarks. And over here there's some major chipping. So there would have to be some veneer repairs. And then one of the more technical things on here would be this part is completely ripped off. Like, if you call that cake frosting, this is what it should look like. But that would be an easy enough quick wood repair. I would probably have to shoot some pins or something in there, maybe some staples, just to get it something to anchor to. So right in here, I'd probably put a couple of micro screws or tacks or something. Other than that, I think the interiors are in decent shape. I don't think the rails need to be replaced or anything. They're a little sticky and track a little funny. And then the inside, it's beautiful. It's mahogany. It needs a shellac wipe. There's dry spots here. And around the hardware, as you can see, the screws came loose, and then somebody kept spinning the hardware for some reason. So that would have to be filled and sanded or whatever. Maybe covered over with some couple coats of primer. So anyways, this is the before video. And I gotta come up with a plan and make some choices. It would be a good candidate for QCS. It would be an okay candidate for soy gel, but I would probably avoid soy gel because I would want to wash this off, and I don't want this to get so wet that it actually falls right off and loses all the charm. So probably the most sensible thing is to give it a good cleaning with greenies. It's a furniture stripper cleaner, but do that to keep this from getting too waterlogged. And then maybe go over it with a shellac primer, actually, which will stick to anything. Do a little bit of a braiding in the flat areas as much as possible, and maybe take a toothbrush and some extra strong greenies just to make sure it's kind of burning off the grease and etching into whatever finish this is. So that might be the approach. Also, I need to maybe glue down. There's a little bit of a wiggle on this little trim piece here, so you can see it moving there. I probably just need to slip some glue under, or epoxy, and just pinch it down and lock it in before I start doing a ton of refinishing stuff. I would love to, take it back to 100% of what its original look was. I think it would be pretty amazing to actually strip it and just see how much brighter it would be. Even just hitting it in the face with some light, it's a pretty cool piece. Very well made. But anyways, I wrap up the video to say that I haven't been able to make up my mind. It really is a really nice piece of furniture, and so it's taken a long time to try to decide what to do with it, but its time has come. So soon it shall be, I don't know, most likely painted. It's the fastest way to get it down the road and updated, but we'll see. Okay, so here's what's going on. I've got one of my vice grips, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap this old athletic shoe insert. It's a very impact resistant material. I'm going to double it up, and then I am going to put the vice grips on. I need my other hand. I don't have my tripod right now. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to lock that up, and then I'm going to come in here with my impact driver, my little rigid impact driver. I'm going to try and pop that loose. I think they got the wrong size screw, over tightened it, and it just really cranked itself into that knob. So I'm hoping I can get it apart. Otherwise, I'm going to have to figure out if I can cut it some way or drill it out or something. So fingers crossed that that little groove right there doesn't strip out. So I'll try and be careful. Okay, just so you can see, the way a vice grips works, you squeeze this and you can adjust the jaw size. So if it's not closing, you just loosen it a little bit until it clicks, and then you release it with that. But I've got it locked onto the knob, and I'm going to try this impact driver and see if I can pop that loose. So success. This is the screw. It's obviously rusty. I don't know what happened there. And then this is the knob. You can see this dust poof right here. That's rust. And then if you want to know how to release a vice grip, so we're going to do it one-handed. There we go. You just squeeze that lever, and then hopefully the knob isn't too chewed up on the edge, and it doesn't feel too bad. So yeah, success all the way around. Okay, so here's pretty much the final, or at least as much as I'm going to bother putting into it. This is the Endless Shore with an older flat top coat from General Finishes. There's a little bit of yellowing in some spots, and so I actually took a brush and had to go in with the Endless Shore, which is a silk product from Dixie Belle. So it means it has a primer and a top coat in there. So the top was really yellow, kind of streaked, so I just went over there with one coat of Endless Shore. But I thinned it, and then I used some Floetrol to really smooth it out. There was some chipping and some broken molding here, so I had to fix some of those patterns. And there was a really big piece missing here that I fixed with Quickwood, I think. And then I spray painted the handles. So let me brighten it up a little bit, but it's a little richer gold. It's not quite that yellow. It's a little more standard, like a gold, not a brass so much. Inside, it actually has some really cool. It has the dovetail joints, and those are pretty well made. Not the best that I've seen, but they're solid. But inside, and the camera's not picking it up, there's some really nice mahogany, I believe. And it's the older mahogany, so you have a really rich red. So yeah, so anyways, this is the overall. It's like I said, I've kind of hit the wall on this one. I need to get it out because I've got other projects to work on. But pretty happy with the way it turned out. You know, at first I couldn't make up my mind, but I think this is the way to go. I took there was a top thing off, but it's kind of rinky-dink, and so I filled the holes that there's some dowels that were holding it on, and then there's a top cap, just a little thin strip if you saw the other video. But I took that off just to simplify it, so it's a little bit lower, a little bit more usable, I feel. So I think it would be kind of a fun piece for a nursery. So anyways, that's what I got, and I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. So if you got any questions or thoughts, shoot them my way, and I always have time to answer a comment or question.